There's nothing like it. The excitement of Texas Tech men's basketball. And now, with all the pregame analysis from the best, this is KMAC Red Raider Nation's countdown to tip-off.
Welcome, everyone, inside the KMAC studios for Red Raider Nation's countdown to tip-off. Mason Horodisky joined alongside David Collier. Later on this evening, the 13th-ranked Red Raiders host Mississippi State as a part of the Big 12 SEC Challenge. Lots of big games today, Collier, but this one's an intriguing matchup for Texas Tech, isn't it?
Yeah, two teams that are coming off of big losses. And two similar teams, certainly on the defensive end.
Yes.
It's going to be a tough physical battle tonight at the USA.
Always is with Texas Tech. But coming up, it feels like Memphis all over again. A hardwood rematch of the Liberty Bowl as Texas Tech clashes with the Bulldogs.
And also ahead, we do our best Kevin O'Banner with another edition of Crashing the Boards.
And later on, EverythingLubbock.com's Phil Mayer joins the show to help us fill in the blank. Fun game for the Red Raiders coming up later on today at 5 Central. A little bit of a break in between the grind of the Big 12 schedule, but still a very tough opponent in the SEC with the Bulldogs. But before we get into that, let's run it back where we last left you in our Red Raider recap. And we begin last Saturday against West Virginia. I said in that show that this one would be more of a boxing match than a basketball game, and per usual, I was correct, as this one was chippier than a bag of Tostitos. But in the end, it's Texas Tech who walks away with the win to remain unbeaten at home. Here's what Mark Adams had to say about what he thought of the hard-fought contest.
Well, again, I could give credit to our coaching staff for the preparation that they've done. And then we have great character guys, older guys, understand it, want to win, mature, know that they can't get too high or get too low. They have to stay focused in the present, and we talk about focus is your friend, and concentrate on the now. And, you know, they're doing all those things that a good basketball team needs to do.
Then, of course, on Monday, Texas Tech coming up oh so close to being just the third team to get a season sweep over Bill Self's Kansas Jayhawks. Ochai Agbaji not letting KU lose on Monday night, hitting a game-tying three to force double overtime, leading to that double overtime victory for KU. Bryson Williams continuing to be a Jayhawk killer of sorts in the loss with a season-high 33.
Well, I'll tell you what I learned. I learned that we have a very tough, competitive team that is very resilient, that play against a really good basketball team, and I thought we stood toe-to-toe with them. We were down, dug a hole for us several times. At halftime, we were behind, and we got even further behind, about 10 to go, but came back. And again, I thought showed a lot of determination and commitment to each other and try to win the game, and got us in a position I thought we were going to win in that first overtime.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe one of the best games we've seen in college basketball this season, and probably one of the best performances from a Red Raider we've seen this year as well. Bryson Williams has just gotten better and better. And like you said, Collier put up 32 points against the nation's 5th best team. After finding his way through the fog in Lawrence, Kansas, Bryson broke down why he was able to be so effective.
I mean, I'm just coming out to fight, man. I got teammates that believe in me. I got a coaching staff that believe in me. And I just came out to be aggressive and just try to do whatever I can to help this team win. And that's what I did tonight. I can just keep on saying this over and over again. I mean, this team is willing to fight. We were willing to fight with whoever, against whoever. All those guys in back there in that locker room, I mean, we took an oath to know that we was going to come out here and fight. Everybody on that coach staff, everybody on this team. And we came out here and did that tonight.
Then we had that big recruiting news on Wednesday as the Red Raiders land a new shooting guard in Drew Steffy, a 4-star recruit from Memorial High School in Frisco. He announced on Twitter that he would be joining Mark Adams and the Red Raider squad in 2023.
And then finally on Thursday, it's no secret that Mark Adams has crafted one of the best defenses in the entire nation. And one of his players received national recognition for just that. Redshirt junior Kevin Mccullar is now one of 15 players in the country on the 2022 Naismith Defensive Player of the Year watch list. Mccullar has 4 games with 3 or more steals and was well deserving of being on that list, included with 2 other Big 12 players. A very, very busy week in Texas Tech and Big 12 basketball, but again, finally, now we get a little bit mixed in there with the SEC.
Yeah, you mentioned it, and most of the time, you know, playing a non-conference game is going to be pretty tough, but you need one of these breaks in Big 12 play, and not that Mississippi State's going to be easy to deal with today, but still, This is a Mississippi State team that's just won one time in the Big 12 SEC Challenge compared to Texas Tech, who was 5-3 all time, including last year's win over LSU down in Baton Rouge. Ben Howland's Bulldogs last played Texas Tech back in 2015. This year's Bulldogs 13-6 on the season, but as we mentioned, coming off of an overtime loss like the Red Raiders earlier this week when they fell to Kentucky.
I think we're all, just battling for a position and trying to improve our resumes. And if you're in the Big 12 and SEC, we're all doing the same. But at the same time, I think this is a big game for both teams. And I think whoever can win this game will certainly help them in the seeding. And certainly we would hope, along with Mississippi State, that we'll both be in the tournament. And so, again, it'll be a great matchup. They've got some long, athletic players, as we do. They got an exceptional guard that may be the best we've played all year. So we'll have our hands full.
Well, it's about that time. Time to fill in the blank, everybody, with EverythingLubbock.com's Phil Mayer. Phil, there's a lot of teams in college basketball these days that love to shoot the three ball. But to stop Mississippi State, you've got to do blank.
Protect the rim. And like you said, Mason, three-point shooting is not really a big part of Mississippi State's game. Bulldogs shoot less three-pointers than just about anyone else in college basketball, and they're shooting just 26.5% on them in SEC play. But they're still a pretty good offensive team, and much like Texas Tech, they do their damage around the rim. Take their best player, Iverson Molinar. He's not shooting the three well this year, but he does a really good job of getting to the rim and converting those tough layups once he gets there. Garrison Brooks, this guy averaged almost 17 points a game from the low post when he was at North Carolina. Now, Texas Tech's a team that's going to send a lot of help to take away those layups. I think that makes this a pretty good matchup for the Red Raiders, guys.
I tend to agree with you on that one. Going to be very interesting to see how they close out on that three ball.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it, the issues maybe from time to time this year against the three. Hopefully you got a cold Bulldogs team.
That's what we're hoping for. But time to take a break on Countdown to Tip-Off. Still to come, we'll take a look at the rest of the matchups today in the Big 12 SEC Challenge.
And later we break out the whiteboards for crashing the boards, all that and more, right here on Red Raider Nation's Countdown to Tip-Off.